Hi guys, and welcome to All Things English. Today's lesson is all about the past perfect tense. Primarily, we use this tense to talk about an action in the past that happened before another action in the past. So, knowing exactly how and when to use this tense will make you a better narrator, a better storyteller. And this is a very important skill to have, especially, let's say, if you're retelling a sequence of events for an important situation, like giving an eyewitness account to the police, or let's say if you're feeling very ill and you're at the hospital and you have to recall exactly how your day went and relay this information to your doctor so that he can diagnose you correctly. He or she can diagnose you correctly. And a lot of us don't realize it, but we do tell stories every day. When we sit down at the dinner table and chit-chat about how our day went, at work during coffee break, when we gather around and we talk about the latest news and current events. And speaking of stories, let me start this lesson with a story. Imagine yourself waking up early one bright and sunny morning and making your way to the kitchen to make yourself a cup of coffee, only to find that your coffee maker isn't there, and neither is your toaster oven and your microwave. Then you slowly realize that you've been robbed. So how would you tell this story to your friends later on? What words would you use to describe what happened? You should say something like,
When I entered the kitchen, I realized that I had been robbed.
so, in addition to feeling indignant on your behalf, your friends would also be able to understand that you were robbed before you woke up that morning and entered the kitchen, because you used the past perfect tense to describe the misdeed. So how do you form the past perfect tense? You can review this table later on for the details, but to put it simply, the formula for the past perfect tense is subject plus had plus past participle. And it doesn't matter if the subject is singular or plural, the formula doesn't change. For negative sentences, we insert not between the helping verb and the main verb. So, she had gone to school becomes she had not gone to school. We had left becomes we had not left. For questions, we exchange the subject with a helping verb. So, you had arrived becomes had you arrived? They had eaten dinner becomes had they eaten dinner? When we use the past perfect in speaking and in informal writing like text messaging, we often contract the subject and the helping verb. So for example, I had becomes I'd, you had becomes you'd, and so on. In negative sentences, we may contract the helping verb and not. So, had not becomes hadn't. How and when do we use the past perfect tense? By looking at the name of this verb tense, we can tell how to use it. This verb tense refers to an action or state that occurred before now. Generally speaking, perfect verb tenses refer to completed actions or states. So, primarily, we use the past perfect to express an action in the past that happened before another action in the past. So just like the past perfect continuous tense, the past perfect is another verb tense that describes the past in the past. And I want you to remember this phrase because it really simplifies things. For example, I was running late, so when I arrived at the station this morning, the train had already left. Let's take a look at the timeline to make things clearer. This sentence tells us that the train left the station at this point in time before I arrived at this point in time. Let's take a look at some more examples. She called to tell him that the cake in the fridge was for their mother's birthday party, but unfortunately, he had already eaten it.
I tried to buy some tickets, but they'd all been sold out.
If you noticed, all the pictures denote actions that happened and were completed before the picture was taken. And that's because the primary reason we use the past perfect tense is to talk about a point in the past and want to reference an event that happened or was completed even earlier than that point in the past. Once again, just think of describing the past in the past. We also use the past perfect tense with reported speech. Reported speech is when we tell someone what another person said. Take a look at these examples of direct speech and reported or indirect speech. Hi, have you seen a little black dog around here by any chance? He asked me if I'd seen a little black dog.
The rest of the team has gone home to rest.
What did she say?
She told me that the rest of the team had gone home to rest.
If you noticed, in reported or indirect speech, we often use a tense which is further back in the past than the tense originally used. This change in tense is called a backshift or backshifting. When we backshift, it's usually the present perfect tense that changes into the past perfect tense. And finally, we also use the past perfect tense to express conditional statements, particularly type 3 conditional statements. The type 3 conditional refers to an impossible condition in the past and its probable result in the past. Let's take a look at some dialogues of everyday conversation that use the past perfect in conditional statements.
Hi, Sanjeev. I tried calling you this morning, but you were in a meeting. I was only in town for a day. My flight leaves in an hour.
You're leaving today? If I had known you were in town, I would have taken you sightseeing.
I don't see anything. I'm going to bed, Dad.
Just be patient. The comet will pass tonight. Wow. I wish Brad stayed up to see this.
If I had waited just a little longer, I would have seen the comet.
Alright guys, here's a short quiz just to check if you've understood the lesson. Okay guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And more importantly, I hope you learned something new. Feel free to subscribe if you found value in this lesson. And click that like button if you enjoyed and learned something from this particular lesson. Yeah, so have a nice day and I'll see you next time.